Hello everyone, this is Erik, the Asian movie enthusiast, and this is my review of Encounter of the Spooky Kind, a Hong Kong action horror movie from 1980 that stars Sammo Hung. He also directed this. So yes, we're going old school with this one. Now the following plot synopsis was taken from the website Asian Movie Pulse. Bold Chung, played by Sammo Hung, is a pedicab driver. He is a good fighter and a brave guy, but not particularly bright and often bamboozled by his peers. We see him at the beginning of the film showing off his bravery and how his friends trick him into a spooky prank. However, while he fools around, his wife and his boss, Master Tom, are having an affair behind his back, and when Master Tom feels at risk of being discovered, he decides to get rid of Bold Chung at once, and to do so, he hires a master of witchcraft to help him. So Taoist priest and necromancer Chin-ying is going to control corpses on remote control with all sorts of sorcery and magic and send them to kill Chung. So a pretty interesting plot synopsis. The opening credits have a spooky vibe, which should be expected given the title of the movie, but we have two funeral urns at the beginning, and they are talking to each other and complaining about wanting to escape from their mundane prison. Now, obviously, these are the spirits that reside within the human remains, but you get the idea. It's a pretty eventful opening scene, with Sammo getting owned by these ghosts and having to flee. But I guess it kind of sets everything up there. Now, the opening act does have some dramatic plotting to it, but it's good. You know, our protagonist's wife is a total wench, horrible person, and she does provide a fantastic example of gaslighting when Sammo catches her cheating early on. But in any case, Sammo, as the lead, is always a positive, and he brings that lovable fighter vibe or persona into this film, which is good. And I also like how some of the side characters near the beginning seem like they might be villains, but do not turn out that way. So look out for that. Ching-ying has a significant role in this, but his character is quite gullible in this movie, and he ends up making some poor assumptions and decisions as an officer of the law. But that's his character in this one, so it's quite different from his character in other films of this type. Always nice to see him, though. And then Chung Fat is also very entertaining in this. I liked him a lot. Now, in terms of the genre elements, Encounter of the Spooky Kind feels more like a horror movie near the beginning, and then it gradually shifts into being more of an action movie near the end. One early spirit is a woman who's trapped in a mirror, and she gives Sammo a hard time. That was just kind of like an appetizer of horror for us to enjoy. But one of the bigger set pieces is near the 30-minute mark, where Sammo has to stay overnight in a haunted house. And a hopping corpse shows up, in creepy fashion, actually. So this scene relies more on suspense instead of kung fu, and many of the popular hopping vampire movies like Mr. Vampire and stuff like that tend to focus a lot on martial arts, with horror being kind of like the supplement. But this scene in this film has more of a horrific vibe, and it works quite well. The second big set piece arrives soon after that when Sammo has to stay another night, and this incorporates some additional defensive tactics aimed at disarming the witchcraft that controls the corpse. A little bit more hand-to-hand fighting in this one. Another big set piece at a different location is where these guys, human beings, are fighting each other in a little restaurant, and even their body parts are being remote controlled by these witchcraft people, right? So you get a lot of this remote control of corpses and human being body parts in this film, which provides for some pretty entertaining set pieces. There's another scene, and even the corpses are a little bit different. There's another scene with a corpse that acts a little bit differently than the corpses that came before. Different set of abilities, so it's pretty cool stuff. And then the big finale is the best thing in the whole film. I would say the best set piece. It has the highest quantity of expertly choreographed martial arts. It's also multi-staged and has some little surprises in there, but very satisfying, and the final shot of the film will make you laugh, probably, if you have a certain sense of humor. So Hong Kong really made some very interesting genre benders during this era, and this is one of them. So I definitely recommend Encounter of the Spooky Kind. Thankfully, it has gotten easier to find over recent years. It's currently available streaming on the Criterion channel, and it's also available on Blu-ray. So I get a feeling a lot of people will enjoy this one if they have not seen it. And as always, folks, I'll see you next time.